And thank you so much for joining us today. And before I actually start with the, I don't want to say interview, but discussion with our esteemed guest, I'd like to give you a little background of our panelist, Patricia Bennett. She's the founder and CEO of PC Bennett Solutions, a gold partner of Acumatica, and she's been awarded the status of Acumatica's most valuable professional for 3 consecutive years. With over 20 years experience, Patricia is a respected technology executive and thought leader in the ERP industry. She's developed numerous applications and been responsible for hundreds of successful ERP implementations. During her career, Patricia has held senior management positions at several companies, and she has sold and implemented a variety of ERP solutions, including Acumatica, Solomon, Great Plains, and Microsoft Dynamics software. Patricia is an accomplished conference presenter. She sits on industry advisory boards and has an active leadership role in the technology community. Patricia has master's degrees in management information systems from Barry University, as well as Bachelor of Science degrees in computer science and math in Florida State. And as you can see, she doesn't have that much to do. She has, she has a stellar background, and we are quite happy that she is on board with us to speak with us today. And we are so delighted to talk to you, Patricia. And I'm going to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Well, thank you, Noelle.
Okay, here we go. How long have you been a partner with Acumatica?
We signed up as a partner with Acumatica back in 2010. It was version 2.0 of Acumatica.
So 8 years. Back. Okay. Okay. Tell us about your company and what products you represent.
So today, PC Bennett Solutions is an exclusive Acumatica partner. Back in 2010, I was a Microsoft partner, and in 2014, I decided to sell the Microsoft practice and focus 100% on Acumatica.
Great. And then, actually, what brought you to Acumatica? What was it that said, hey, we want to represent this platform?
So back then, there was a little bit of turmoil in the Microsoft channel, and a lot of the Microsoft employees were leaving, and I received a call from somebody that used to work at Microsoft and said, hey, check out this product. I'm working for these guys, and I think you'll like it. And we looked at the product, and we were so impressed with the technology. We were impressed with the functionality. At the same time, we were somewhat unhappy with Microsoft, and I thought, hey, you know what? This may be our next thing. So that's how we got started. It took us about a year, actually, to get it going, because we still had hundreds of Microsoft customers that were demanding of our time and our consultants. And I finally decided to hire one person who would focus 100% on Acumatica. And that's how we finally got going.
Okay. And that's a nice leading answer to this question. Could you kind of tell us about your experience with training and enablement?
So I know that today Acumatica has a fantastic system to onboard partners. Back in 2010, not so much. So my training and onboarding, I did get some training and certified in financials, but most of it was I had access to the team, the entire team, from the CTO to the CEO, and it was truly a team effort. If we had an opportunity, it wasn't unheard of for the CEO to present Acumatica to the prospect, and everybody at Acumatica was trying to get more customers. So it was a really fun experience, but it was definitely not a structured process at that time. So I know that Geoff has a great program now.
So we've definitely matured along the way. So could you explain to us how has Acumatica contributed to your success?
Well, I'm only doing Acumatica, so whatever we do is because of Acumatica. In the last 3 or 4 years, we have been Inc. 5000 recipients twice. We have been recipients of the 100 fastest growing companies in Washington State twice. We have been recipients of the 50 fastest growing companies on the east side of Washington twice. And since all we do is Acumatica, then, I mean, that's your answer.
Okay. Well, we love hearing that. So you alluded to this earlier, but what are your favorite product features within our platform?
Well, favorite product features, the technology, I think, is one of the great advantages that we have as partners of Acumatica. I mean, it's newer technology. It has web services available to any field, including new user-definable fields, which in Acumatica are called attributes. Probably the attributes is one of the best features of Acumatica. The inquiry screens and the ability to extract data easily is a great feature. We've created a series of Power BI dashboards that our customers absolutely love. The fact that with Acumatica, I can do things that if I was selling other products, I would need 2 or 3 third-party products. The feature of dragging and dropping a file to keep everything in one system, that is fantastic. We use it all the time. I can say here at PC Bennett, we're probably 90% paperless at this point, and it is because of Acumatica.
Great. That's great to hear. And would you please share with us a favorite customer success story?
Probably my favorite customer success story is a customer that has been with me since 2004. They started with a little product called Small Business Financials. They only had like 4 users at the time, and then they started growing, and we needed more users, and so we moved them to Great Plains. And they had a programmer that had built an inventory system for them in Access. And back in 2011, I think, they came to us and said, you know what, we would like to customize GP and build the inventory system inside of Great Plains so that we can have everything in one system and not having to integrate. And, you know, there were all kinds of issues with this Access application that this programmer had built. At that time, we evaluated what would it take to build it in GP in Great Plains. And I said, hey, you know, by the way, we have this other product. And it has the technology to build that application for you. And the advantage is that now it will be accessible everywhere. So this particular customer is a nursery. So they have lots of activity out at the field. And today they can access inventory levels. They have that visibility anywhere they go because of Acumatica's it's a browser-based application. So to make a long story short, we decided to customize Acumatica instead of GP. We moved them to Acumatica, and they're still with us since 2004. So that's a great story.
Yeah, definitely, indeed. Thank you for sharing that. And that's a question I'd like to ask you, Patricia. Why should partners consider joining Acumatica's partner program?
I can only speak from my experience, but dealing with Acumatica and dealing with Microsoft is night and day. Acumatica actually has a vested interest in the customer success. PC Bennett is a very customer-centric organization, and our main goal for everybody here in this company is customer satisfaction. And in order for us to be able to provide good service to our customer, we need to be able to receive good service from the vendor that we are representing. And at the time that I left Microsoft, it was very difficult to accomplish that. I can honestly say that I have had all kinds, and nothing is perfect, right? Especially way back in 2011, 2012, we had all kinds of issues. And all I can tell you is that every time that I have encountered an issue, there is a lot of people willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that customer is happy. And that to me is priceless. There's, I mean, it's not a perfect world, but that particular item is the reason that I would not change this for anything in the world as long as it stays like this.
Okay. Thank you so much, Patricia, and we definitely recognize you as one of our most successful partners, and we thank you for your commitment. And also on the line, I have my colleague, John Cummings, who is an Acumatica Partner Account Manager. John, would you please give us a description of your role and how your role directly supports partner success?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. My name is John Cummings, and I'm a Partner Account Manager for Acumatica. I focus on the Pacific Northwest, including West Canada. And first, to answer the question, I just want to helicopter up, because what makes an Acumatica partner successful are, one, they're gold certified. So I can make Patricia an example out of all of these. So being gold certified is very important for our partners to be able to demonstrate Acumatica with a high degree of effectiveness. Another area that makes our partner successful is they can sell effectively and they can drive a sales process. And then the third is they have a track record of success with their customers. Patricia has all three of those, her and her team. And so where I come into play and where my role is focused is adding value to support those areas. And I can break them down further into two key areas. And Patricia, if you're on the line, would love to also hear your feedback after I'm speaking. But, at a very high level, my role is to help my partners grow their Acumatica business. So lots of discussions and keeping a pulse on what's going on in their business. So if there's any changes or disruptions or growing pains. So an example is, I have a partner in Vancouver right now. He's very fast growing his Acumatica practice. Like Patricia, he has hired on Acumatica focused resources. And so there's some growing pains. They are winning opportunities very quickly, and they just need to lean on us a little bit more right now in the interim. And so those areas are very important to me, for me to keep a pulse on. And what's going on with people and processes, and how I can support that with our Acumatica resources. And also understanding new areas of strength that our partners may have developed, maybe in an area as a thought leader or an expert or solutions that I can help drive and make introductions. Patricia is a great example of that. She has a BI product her and her team have developed. She's become a thought expert in the nursery vertical. And so we help make introductions there. And so that's one example. So one area is at a very high level to add value. In addition to that, it's listening. So important, and one of the most important things is to listen and learn from my partners and learn from their knowledge so that I can also help support Acumatica's growth. A perfect example of that is we're a very innovative company, fast changing. We're bringing on, we have 2 major releases a year, and lots always going on. Patricia is a great example. She's highly engaged, and she always offers feedback and helps us with our growth. So it's a two-way street. So making those bridges and organizing those calls and being on them is crucial. And then another area where I, as a partner account manager, can add value is diving a little deeper down at the opportunity level. So understanding each opportunity with my partners and how I can help the sales process continually keep moving forward, remove roadblocks. And for example of roadblocks, sometimes you just have a prospect that goes dark. And so, it might help for me to pick up the phone and call that prospect. It's very interesting how sometimes prospects might share something different with me than they might with our partners, and so then I can re-engage the sales process and get it going. Strategizing about each opportunity, talking about, who's the competitors in each opportunity, what's the current solution, and what's going on all around, so that we can win opportunities together and celebrate them. I love celebrating with my partners. And with that, helping our Acumatica partners with resources at the opportunity level as well. So customer stories to support winning deals, and sometimes reviewing demo scripts. So all of those things. So that's really where I think a partner account manager and my role adds a lot of value. Patricia might even pipe in there and share how she thinks my role adds value. I kind of put you on the spot, Patricia.
No pressure.
No problem. I'm happy to say that. And it's great to have Jen as a partner account manager, because she can really help us when we need a specific reference for a prospect, when we need something taken care of. Instead of me trying to contact 10 people to find the right person, then she can, help me figure out how to resolve issues where we need to bring in specific people from Acumatica. So it's in my mind, and for PC Bennett, it's our link to the organization. She knows everything we're doing, and she helps us with anything that we need as far as Acumatica is concerned.
Great. Well, thank you both, John and also Patricia. And at this time, I'd like to turn this over to Geoff Ashley, our VP of Partner Strategies and Programs. Geoff?
Okay, thank you very much. Noelle, can you guys hear me? I will take that as a yes. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. I want to introduce myself very quickly. My name is Geoff Ashley. I'm Vice President of Partner Strategy and Programs at Acumatica. I've got more than 30 years selling and implementing as a VAR, and then from there moving to the publisher channels, where I've spent the vast majority of my career. But all of that career has been spent in the ERP space, selling accounting software in the small to medium enterprise world. So I've been where you are, I've done what you do. In my role at Acumatica and what my team focuses on at Acumatica, if you look at Jeanne in her description of what she does as a channel manager in acting as the advocate for our partners, Jeanne is what we call the manage to revenue side of our business. So that would be up here if you can see the screen. And manage to revenue is what it sounds like. We have opportunities, our partners need support in closing those opportunities, and Jeanne and her counterparts, they do whatever it is that they need to do to help ensure that our partners can grow their business and dominate within those areas of the marketplace that they choose to focus. My team and our role at Acumatica is that of the foundation building. So we call that time to revenue. So when you first come on board, for example, we help you to understand how to position our products. We help you to understand the products themselves becoming self-sufficient in the core of our product, and then eventually you can go on even farther along into our various additions and get more vertical with the product. My team helps in supporting the demonstrations of the product to our partners, and then we have a very formalized enablement program. It's very linear and very well defined, that helps take our partners from where they are to self-sufficient, and then we hand them off to Jeanne and her team, and they manage you for the rest of your life cycle. So that's what we do. So a little bit of an introduction to Acumatica. So Acumatica was founded in 2008. So we actually, in our summit this year, we celebrated our 10th anniversary. Acumatica was actually born in the cloud. And what does that mean, born in the cloud? Well, many of the people on this call today sell solutions that were not born in the cloud, And I guess the way I would answer the what does it mean is, how's that going for you? Many of those companies are trying to re-engineer those solutions into the cloud. Some of them can, some of them can't. Some of them have taken years and years to do that. And of course, that poses some very significant challenges for their partners that are out there representing those solutions to the marketplace. I mean, you're the feet on the street, and you're the ones that are first in the door with whatever that solution is you're representing. So this is kind of like, if you're an old timer like me, it's kind of like when we had the Windows running on DOS back in those old days, and that was really the last major paradigm shift we had. Well, now we're well past that, and we're getting into the, is it on-premise really, or is it in the cloud, or is it some hybrid in between? But the point is that Acumatica partners and Acumatica customers, they don't have to worry about any of that. All of our solution, everything about our product was born and created in the cloud. It's where we've always been, and it's where we're always going to be. And then the other thing is, we can stay nostalgic here for just a minute. If you look at Acumatica, we were founded by a gentleman by the name of John Howell. And for those of you that know that name, John was one of the 3 original founders and developers of the Solomon solution that was ultimately purchased by Great Plains before later being purchased by Microsoft. So John took all of that background, all of that experience, and a lot of that money that he earned from that part of his life, and he brought it to Acumatica, and so began work on a brand new state-of-the-art, born in the cloud solution, and it was designed from day one to be focused on small to medium customers and sold through a 100% channel, indirect channel of partners. So we really have ERP in our DNA. And, well, let me see if I can get the screen to go. There it goes. And then we consider ourselves to be disruptive in the marketplace. And what does that mean, be disruptive? You hear that term all the time. Think Uber, right? If you think about Uber, Uber is obviously disrupting the taxi world and business model, but they're also having an impact on new and used car sales, as fewer and fewer people actually invest in a car. They just call Uber when they need to get from point A to point B. But it's not even just the new and used cars. They're even impacting the rental car world. I mean, I can't remember the last time, well, I can remember. It's been about 2 years since I've actually rented a car at an airport. I just get off the plane, I walk out the door, Uber's waiting there for me, I get in the car and get delivered to my location. So they are a great example of what a disruptive technology, what a disruptive type of a solution would be. The other, others that would be like that. Who would have thought driverless cars would have come from somewhere other than Detroit? But they are, right? And it's just wherever these great thoughts are coming from. And then, so partners looking to sell an ERP solution like Acumatica would think of the cloud as possibly being a disruptive technology. Is it disruptive? Absolutely. And this is a good thing for our partners and our customers. And also consider this, when was the first time, and not the last time, when was the first time in the entire history of our industry that we had a prospect or a customer, the ERP VAR, and the software publisher all having the same ultimate end goal, which is the selling of a cloud solution or cloud subscription solution, right? The customers and prospects have told us in no uncertain terms that's what they want. You as a partners are building this unbelievable recurring revenue stream, and we as a publishers are also able to create a extremely profitable business in a way that we never could in the past. So it's truly a unique time in our industry, and you as partners and we as your publisher, we really need to take advantage of that. And Acumatica and our value partners are transforming the way our prospects buy and consume ERP. And we're just starting. So as a partner, you'll be eligible to attend one of our practice owner workshops where we spend 2.5 days talking about the next wave of disruption, which is transforming your business into a truly modern VAR practice focused on building annuity streams and delivering customer for life. Being 100% indirect also means that we're focused and incented to create those a disruptive channel program. And what we've done is we've offered our partners the best margins, not just on new customer ads, but you get the best margins on all of your renewals as well. And when you think about it, and you really need to think about this, what is more important to you, that new customer ad or that huge recurring revenue stream that builds more and more over time? Having the best margins in the industry on your renewal business is probably the most important factor you need to consider when thinking about a new ERP publisher relationship. And the other thing is, because of our 100% indirect focus, that gives us the ability to focus more of our profits into the product and the technology. At Acumatica, fully 72% of everything we take in goes into the development, the Q&A, and product management. So again, this is something for those of you that are representing products that haven't transformed, those that can't seem to find a way to get into this new paradigm, and you have to ask yourself, well, how much are they spending on their product if it's taken them years and years to move that product into the current era? All right, so the next thing we want to talk about here is our partner enablement journey. So if you are a partner of Acumatica, or if you are a new partner thinking about joining Acumatica, this is one of the more important things you want to understand about your software partner. So one of the things is every single partner that joins with Acumatica goes through enablement. When you sign up with Acumatica and you sign your agreement, you are actually, your status in our system is enablement, which means you actually live and breathe and work with my team. And for the first anywhere from 4 to 6 months, you're going to be working with my team, which is a dedicated team to doing nothing but helping partners get up to speed on their new Acumatica solution. So my team does not get compensated based on quota, how much of a quota that you bring in. We get compensated based on, can we get you through our process and get you to what we call transactional, meaning the first deal. So our most important focus is on getting you that first opportunity as quickly as possible, which, interestingly enough, is your most important focus as well. So again, I think it's a little bit unique in that we have a very significant team, and the only thing we do is focus on creating self-sufficient partners. Our program is extremely prescriptive and linear, meaning that we start at point A and we get you to point Z, and we have very specific content. We have a really huge library of courseware and testing that you take. We pride ourselves in being what I call right touch, meaning it's not all high touch and it's not no touch. It's the right touch. So there's a right combination of taking virtual curriculum, which means you don't have to come out of the field and you don't have to get on a plane and fly somewhere, but there is also some of that high touch component where it's one-on-one in very specific areas where we believe that we can make a huge difference and impact in your business. We also have, as part of our enablement, a specific, everything you do is the obtaining of badges, and you obtain badges by roles, and when you get those badges, you become a certified partner. And one of the badges that we have is specific to the practice owner. So again, a little different than some of the other programs out there, in that there is someone, and in our case it's actually me, literally me in our company, who I focus on the practice owner as a role. I create content, I have conversations, we've created that workshop that we talked to you about, and all of that is 100% owner focused, and it's all focused on helping our partners, again, dominate in the marketplace within the model that is represented by our solutions. So this is what it looks like, and I realize you can't see or read this. The nice thing is when you go on our portal and you click on any of the roles, it zooms in on that particular role. But as you can see, we've got it very well thought out, very well laid out, and you can tell based on what you do within the organization what your learning path is. Each one of these, when you click to that and enroll into the learning path, it automatically takes you from the first course through that path to the last course and into the testing. And then it actually will give you confirmation of that testing, and all of that information gets passed on to us internally as well. So it's a very, really, really well done program that helps our partners understand at any point in time just where are they in the enablement process. And then as you can see off to the far right, we then break it down further by additions. So not every partner is a manufacturing partner, for example. So not every partner has to go through the manufacturing training. Not every partner does e-commerce, or not every partner may do field services. Not every partner does construction. So depending on what your role is, and then depending on the industries that you represent, that determines what your education and certification process would look like. Additional things that we do beyond just the checking in into a course and taking a test, we have weekly practice owner and sales consultant webinars, and they are on a variety. They're on 10 different subjects. They get recorded and posted out on our webinar as well. So if you miss one, you can always go back and catch up on it. And every one of these, again, follows that enablement roadmap. So in some cases, it's additional information. In some cases, it's further diving into the information presented online, but in all cases, it's taking you on a journey that is in line with the education you're getting at that point in time. We have weekly pre-sales engineer enablement webinars. So what these mean is when your pre-sales person goes in and starts to learn how to do a demo, we're teaching you how to demo into the core product, but there's a lot of functionality in addition to that. So we have weekly webinars on topics that take you even deeper into the product. Again, every one of them recorded, every one of them out in a library, every one of them available to every one of our partners throughout your life cycle. We have the monthly sales consultant webinars where we bring you up to speed on changes, announcements. We have new calculators, we have new tools. These things all get presented to our entire channel on a monthly basis. Along with monthly marketing webinars, we have an exceptionally strong marketing team. The marketing portal at Acumatica is humongous. There's just so much out there and available to our partners. And of course, because we're 100% indirect, everything that we create is yours. So everything you see on our portal is yours to use, as long as you obviously follow marketing and logo guidelines, things like that, but they're yours to use. I mentioned the practice owner workshops. Here's something very unique. We have something called a practice owner forum. So once you as a partner take the workshop itself, which is a foundational piece, you're automatically enrolled into our partner owner forum. The partner owner forum meets every other week, and then it meets every other month virtually, and it meets face-to-face twice a year. So our next meeting is, for example, is in August. And this is a group of only owners, and we get face-to-face, and we're creating content. We're actually creating the 70% solution. We're creating and coming up with what are best practices in compensation, what are best practices in evaluation of partners and in hiring of new resources, et cetera, et cetera. The whole idea being to create something we call the practice management methodology. And this would be that $1 million guide that we would hand to a partner when we sign you on board free of charge and just say, this is what the best run Acumatica practices look like. So that's our practice owner forum. And again, as soon as you become an Acumatica partner and take the workshop, you're automatically enrolled in that as an owner. We have a summit each year. All of our partners attend. This year it's in Houston, Texas. We do demo and pre-sale support as needed. We have again a case process. You fill out a case. Your case gets reviewed and internally within my team, again, because I handle the pre-sales resources. And then based on your need, based on whether it's a specific addition like manufacturing or field services, it gets assigned to the appropriate resources on the team. And then we work with you and your salespeople and your prospect to ensure that you have a stellar experience in demonstrating Acumatica and shortening your sales cycles. The other thing Acumatica does for all new partners when you join, your first implementation within an Acumatica edition will also include, you will utilize our Acumatica Implementation Assist resources. So the first time you implement, we want to ensure that you and your customer have a stellar experience so that we create a customer for life and a customer that is going to renew again each and every year. And then we do the readiness assessment after you've gone through the implementation. At the end of this, our Acumatica support team actually evaluates your performance through the implementation. We meet with the owner and we give you an assessment, and it is a formal assessment. And essentially at the end of this, it says your organization has demonstrated competency, and you are now, as an organization, certified within this edition of our software. And then the last thing, and this is really, truly unique, I think, within the publisher world, we have something called the Acumatica Recruitment Assistance Program. We are partnered with a recruitment firm out of the Seattle area. They not only do they help you in hiring people, but they actually go out and find a stable of candidates. They put that stable of candidates through our training program so that when you hire one of these people, they've already gone through that learning path that you saw on the slide previous. And so we went out and did the math on it. And you were to get a fully badged technical consultant, that would be the equivalent of about $11,000 or $12,000 in real costs that Acumatica has absorbed for you in getting that person their badges before you even hire them. So again, something very unique. This just started in the April-May timeframe, so we're building them as quickly as we can, but we have already placed a significant number of resources in sales, consulting, pre-sales, even development out into our partner community. And all of this is part of our program, standard. As I mentioned earlier, we have a marketing onboarding program. When you come on board, we do things like we'll help you, and this is our term, of course, but Acumaticize your website. We will introduce you into organizations that we actually use to help our partners generate a pipeline. And with, again, that whole goal of getting you that first opportunity into the system and getting you working with your partner account manager as quickly as we can so that you get a fast ROI on your investment of time, money, and resources into Acumatica. All right, so a little bit about that program I keep talking about. Again, as I mentioned, we are 100% partner driven. We have no direct sales. We have no direct resources at all in our company. We have no fees to become a Acumatica partner. There are some costs that you incur. Obviously, if you have people and they have to invest time, then that time has a cost to you. There is a summit that our partners attend once a year, so there is a cost for airfare and hotels to attend the summit. We have industry-leading margins and industry-leading terms with our partners. So again, we make it very profitable to sell in an annuity-based world where you're transforming from professional services to annuities and subscriptions, and there are some very inherent risks in that. So we've gone out of our way to try to figure out how can we help to mitigate those risks and help you in this transition into what will ultimately be the most profitable business model you've ever had. So we have, when you first sign up, you're called a registered partner, and for your first 6 months or until you get all of those badges that make you a silver partner, you are considered registered. Then you go to silver, and then you go into gold. There are more than fit on this screen as far as all of the different benefits that you receive, but this is a sample of them. And again, if you're working with Noelle, she will be sending you our complete data sheet, which has everything that you're going to see here on it in a lot more detail. But these are some of the benefits you receive. These are some of the requirements. So again, what we talk about is if you want to be a silver partner, you have to have a certain number of badged individuals that add up to your silver certification. And as Jean said, ultimate goal for our partners is the gold standard. And basically the gold standard is a few more resources dedicated into your practice and a little bit better performance, which equates to experience with the product. And as we mentioned, we have Acumatica University. And actually, I created this slide a couple months ago. We have well over 4,000 users and 80 classes. We've got learning tracks, again, for sales, pre-sales, consultants, implementers, and what we call administrators. We have specific areas, and again, we might call those additions. So financials, distribution, manufacturing, field services, and e-commerce. And every year at Summit, we offer 20 of these classes at Summit. So if you were to come on board with Acumatica, you could actually fly to, in this case, Houston this year. You could attend Summit, and then the last 3 days at the end of Summit, you or your people could attend any of our workshops, and there they get a in-depth orientation into the product. So essentially, instead of taking weeks and weeks going virtually, they get it done in 3 days and they leave with that badge. We also have a very powerful ISV ecosystem within Acumatica. We have something called our Acumatica wheel of ISVs, and there are hundreds of Acumatica ISVs adding and extending the capabilities of our solution out to the marketplace. One of the things I tell partners on a regular basis is that there are 3 things that every partner needs to focus on, every partner owner needs to focus on. When you come into your business every Monday morning, there are 3 things. Every single Monday morning before you get distracted by the thousands of things that you actually do end up focusing on. The first thing is pipeline. You always focus on the pipeline because everything follows the pipeline. The second thing is the experience you deliver to your prospects and your customers. And that experience, it has several components to it, and we talk about it in our workshop, but it has several components to it, content being one of those things, your portal, the sales methodology you utilize, self-service. So there's a lot of things that feed into that experience that you're offering to your prospects and your customers. But the third thing that every partner needs to focus on every Monday morning when you walk in the room is IP, intellectual property, and managed services. Those things that you create once and sell 1,000 times on a subscription. And the reason I bring this up is this ISV window, or this ISV wheel, this is something that also represents for you opportunities for intellectual property and managed services that you can offer not only your customers, but even to other partners throughout our ecosystem. And again, if I tried to put them all in here, they wouldn't fit, but you can get an idea of the kind of things that we do and in the areas that we do it. And we are a connected cloud. And so the idea here is, and one of the things that's really important is how many of you today, and just think of your own business, how many cloud solutions outside of ERP do you have, right? And again, you can start looking at the thing here. I mean, how many of you use Office 365? How many of you use Skype? How many of you use some kind of e-commerce solution like a Magento or a HubSpot or Avalara, all these things that are up here, and there are hundreds of them. All of us, every business has dozens of cloud-based solutions within the organization. And the nice thing about having a connected cloud platform like we do is we make the integration to all of those things, all of the things that extend the capabilities and the value of the solutions you represent. We make it easy for you to integrate to any of those. We are a member of the Open API Forum, and I think the best way to illustrate the Open API Forum is all of those other companies out there, the publishers that you're working with today, perhaps, all of them are trying to figure out how they're going to make their solutions meet the standards that Acumatica helps to define, right? So we are defining the standards by which all the other publishers have to figure out a way to meet. And we're in some pretty good companies. If you go out to the Open API Forum and you look at who the list of companies in this group is, we are well represented with some pretty amazing organizations and technology. That's why Connected Cloud is so important. And finally, we have a ton of customers across many different industries. Again, we do not promote to our partners to come on board so you can represent many different industries, because we think that dilutes your messages and that dilutes your value. But what I am saying is that whatever industry you represent today, there's a very good likelihood that we have a powerful solution that can help you meet the needs of that industry. And we would love the opportunity to explore that with you and to see just how we can help you dominate within the industry sector that you choose to focus on. So what are the next steps? Should any of this that we've been talking about today interest you? What would be your next steps? Well, first thing is you need to be working with Noelle, who was on the phone, and I would think all of you by now have communicated with. If not, she will be soon. Noelle is our manager of partner recruitment, and she will give you all of the information you need in which to make an informed decision. She will also give you access to our portal so you can see what's going on. She'll give you access to the agreements and non-disclosures, everything that you need to do so you can get all your questions asked. Before you sign an agreement with Acumatica, you also are going to have a one-on-one call with me on the call. We call this our alignment call. And we sit down and we say, are all the things that we are offering to you and all the things that you are asking of us, are these all in alignment? And are all the things that you hope to accomplish and the way you hope to accomplish them, are those in alignment with what we are looking for? So we have a really straightforward, open, honest conversation, alignment call. And at the end of that alignment call, you'll go back and sign the agreements. You'll come on board. You'll get introduced to the partner enablement team. And at that point, it becomes a very, very organized, very well-defined process for the next 4 to 6 months. So in closing, our entire model, everything about the way we've created an organization for the last 10 years is all about our partners. And if you were to say, you know, a lot of companies say, oh, it's all about the customers, it's all about the customers. But I would say, in all honesty, and I mean it, it's all about the partners. Because without the partners, we don't have the customers. So it is all about the customer or the partners, and we don't forget that. It's in every conversation, it's in everything that we do. Our customers obviously are important to all of us because we are in a subscription world. Once we close on one of these customers, the model doesn't validate unless those customers renew. So we have to give an outstanding experience to each and every customer so that they keep coming back every year and renewing with all of us. And it's also about our relationships. Again, being 100% indirect is in and of itself an example of our focus on relationships. But we have exceptional relationships with IDC, with Gartner, with Forrester, with all of the various industry analysts and press. And if you've been paying attention at all, you see how that's all coming to fruition now. We're in the Magic Quadrant with Gartner. K2 Enterprises found that we are one of the easiest. We have one of the best user interfaces and one of the easiest pieces of software to use on the market. CRN Magazine rated our program 5-star. So again, all of the things we're working at, I think, are being validated outside of Acumatica and outside of this conversation. And I think they're pretty easy for you to go out and validate on your own. And all this leads to a very, very good, bright, strong future for all partners that might be interested in coming on board and for all of the partners that might be interested in having Acumatica as your partner. If you should have any questions, here's my contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me or reach out to Noelle. This is being recorded. I'm also going to give you now, if you got a pencil and paper, my cell phone. That area code is 603-714-8180. I do a lot of traveling. It is usually a lot easier to get a hold of me via cell phone than it would be even via my Acumatica office number. So please don't hesitate. I will talk and I will speak to every single partner in any stage of your life cycle, and that includes during recruitment. So let me know if I can help in any way. Here's Noelle's information. We have 2 Noelles on my team. One is Noelle East. She's our partner recruitment manager. And we have Noelle West, and Noelle's in our channel development. Again, he will work with you in making sure you get all of those things I talked about, the copies of the non-disclosures, copies of the agreements, copies of our partner pledge, all of the things that you will use to evaluate us and to evaluate your next steps. And that's it. At this point, I'll pass it back to you, Noelle. And thank you, everybody, for your time.